free beer at the U.S. Open. How you doing, Doug?
Great. How about you? Welcome, brother.
Well, I'm doing a lot better than the people who were in the Eye of Ida or the Way of Ida. And I want to start by saying we wish everybody that we know and everybody else the best of luck dealing with that bullshit. Whether it be flooding, whether whatever happened in the flooding in New Orleans, all the way up to where did it stop? Did it even stop in New York? Did you guys get hit?
No, we're too far inland, so we don't have to worry about that. But man, you see all the stuff in like the subways in New York City and New Jersey, got pummeled, and New Orleans.
And personal friends who've been on the show, like Jason Green, was affected by this. Daniel Fisher, and somebody else too, I believe. So we just want to give Jeffrey Bernstein marked himself safe. So we want to make sure that we give a shout out to everybody who is involved or still dealing with that bullshit. Cheers, and hope everything returns to normal as soon as possible. I am having a drink here from Delta Brew Lab.
Yeah,
one of my favorites, Mocha Milk Stout. I haven't had a Mocha Milk Stout in a while. I think I had this one on the show a while, but being a Mocha Milk Stout, you can keep that in your beer fridge for some good time, and you can still get some good mocha out of it, and you can almost spill it on yourself too if you wanted to, like I just did. But what do you have, sir?
So I'm starting off with a pretty light one, but an interesting one. It is a sponge cake cream ale.
SpongeBob?
Sponge cake cream ale from Warhorse. It's a little over 4%. I just thought it sounded cool, sponge cake and cream ale. So see how that goes.
It does.
What's funny, it was part of a 4-pack, and it was one's called Boogie, which was a sour, pineapple sour, and then Woogie, which is just the sponge cake cream ale. So.
Yeah, this coffee's still hanging out.
That's
really good, but subtle. And then you get the milk, lactose. It's really good. Nice, smooth.
Yeah, just smells like a regular cream ale. Nothing on the nose, at least. So.
Yes, Alex. I found beer. I found beer. What's going on, Doug?
Yeah, so like you get the creamiest of cream ale, but like the sponge cake is like this nice lovely little sweetness on it that you don't get out of cream ale. Like they're a little sweet, but not much. But this is like almost like a dessert beer, like really, really good, really. And it's not like cloyingly sweet, when you sometimes add that sweet stuff, and it gets a little bit of. No, this is just like a nice little drink. This is really good.
Yeah, this too. It ends on a. Wow, looks really muddy. Look how muddy that looks. Wow.
Yeah, but it looks good.
Yeah. It ends on a more of a bitter coffee note. Don't worry, Alex. We'll get to Hornitos at some point. Don't worry. Yeah. Let's see here. Evening all, first one back after vacay, and it's JHG for the win. Yes, it is. But before we get to JHG, we do have to announce that we will not be streaming live next week. We might have some kind of recording thing, Doug, that I'm working on, and we might not. But we will not be in attendance, and that's because we are both going to be hitting the road for the first time together during the pandemic. Not together, but we will both be on the road at different places. Doug, you want to talk about real quick where you're going, and I'll talk about it, then we'll bring on Jay's shit.
Yeah, we are getting ready. We're not leaving until Sunday, but we're flying to Iceland. Hopefully everything holds with all the stupid variants.
Like that Iceland?
Yeah. So now the thing is all the restrictions that the EO has been talking about is affecting the unvaccinated folks, and we're both vaccinated. We obviously have to get a COVID test before we go, and then on our way back. So that's where we're standing, but that's where we're going. We're leaving Sunday and coming back the following Sunday. So how about you? What's your travels in store here?
Good luck with that, because I don't know. I'd be able to handle it, but the anxiety of taking the test and making sure it comes back clean so that you can go on your trip is something that I would be like, what the fuck? So I'm with you. I know y'all don't do it. I know y'all don't do anything, but this Delta variant, man, I don't even know if you have to do anything. It almost feels like if you're just in the vicinity, it's just going to jump at you. That's kind of how I feel. So
Not
I
like
don't
a
know.
yeah, it's not like a villain hiding behind a fucking wall coming after you.
This is
But
what
yeah,
I'm
I
thinking. This is what I'm feeling. Doug. I'm sorry, but I'm headed to Fresh Fest, which is it's called Barrel and Flow now, but it used to be Fresh Fest. Everybody knows it as Fresh Fest. Outdoor, half the amount of people that normally are there. About 3 weeks ago, I went to the Great Taste. That was an outdoor event with 5,000 people. I am clean since, so I'm hoping for the best. But I'm going to be stopping in Ohio, Toledo, to Black Frog Brewery, which is one of the
Ooh,
only brick and mortar black owned breweries.
that's
I'm
super
going to
cool.
go there. Yes, have a couple beers, hopefully meet the owner, talk a little business. Hopefully, maybe he wants to do a little charity work with me. And then I'm going to the hotel and getting curbside and hiding. Then I'm going to Pittsburgh and I'm going to tag into my hotel and I'm going to hide. One of
You're
the
gonna,
cool, what you gonna say?
you're gonna be in Pittsburgh as a Browns fan. Aren't you afraid?
I'm going to be in Pittsburgh as a Browns fan. No, but the fans are cool, man. But I will be in Pittsburgh for the first Browns game, and as much as I want to go to the Browns backers bar like I normally do when I'm away, I go to a Browns backers bar when I'm away. I'm just going to be sitting in my hotel room, ordering whatever greatness can come or curbside. Because I'm not going in anywhere because I don't know if you saw the Ohio the amount of their vaccination they are at infection rate is the highest it's been since the pandemic started or something like this. So I am hiding out. I will do all the events that I can. I am not going to anybody's bottle share. I don't care how many people are vaccinated because you got to be vaccinated to get in the Barrel and Flow. I don't care. I have to cut that back. I can't do that. I want to. It was the best event. One of the best events that won the last Fresh Fest. I met the Max. I met Dr. J. I met so many damn good people there at the bottle share. It was just such love. This is gonna hurt not going, but that's what I got to do, Doug. I can't. Ugh.
I understand, man. You got to do what makes you feel safe, strange times and all that stuff. But you're going, and that's going to be cool. And you'll still meet folks. It's not like you won't meet folks there. So it's just being. You're going to control it in a way that you can and be smart, and it'll be fine.
Yep. And if it wasn't professionally, what I needed to do, I wouldn't go. I would have already canceled. I'm even still thinking about canceling, Doug, and I'm not going to, but it's still in my head. And if something happens this weekend where I'm just like whatever, then I can cancel everything but the ticket, and I don't really care because at that point, it's just a donation to an entity that I like. So I would just give them $200 anyway, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so they can keep going. So, cool, man. I just wanted to make that known so everybody will know what the hell is going on next week when we are not here.
Yeah, one other thing for the trip to Iceland when we're going, I will not be back for the show the following week. So that's I'll be in Iceland, so I'm not going to be able to broadcast. And
I didn't even know that.
Well, yeah, this Friday you're going away, and then the weekend that's when I asked our other partner in crime to host with you.
And he's said, yeah, I think.
Yeah, yes, he did. So.
So Casey returns.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how this happens on live stream. Look at that.
See,
you could tell we prepare so much.
Top notch, folks.
Right. So luckily, our guests can organize a whole lot better than us.
Hopefully, man.
Because I hope we'll see. We'll see, won't we?
We will.
Right, because I don't think he's been president of this organization and actually was he president the last time we had an in person? We have somebody better than y'all need a guest host? Sure, Alex. No. I don't know if he was president the last time homedadcon was an event live in person. We'll ask him right now. What's up, JC?
What's up?
You were.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Cool. Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've already had one under your belt, and then you had the pandemic year, which is a disaster. And now this year's trying to be a little disaster. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, God. if people would just get their act fucking together around this country, it would be in such a better place. But the show must go on, as we say. So we've got HomeDadCon coming up October 14th, 15th, 16th. Really 15th and 16th. But 14th, we kick things off. We are like most other events now at least for us, we are vaxxed and masked. Words. Vaxxed and masked. So when you're there, you have to prove you're vaccinated and you have to wear a mask.
Great. But hold on. That's great. But what's in your glass?
Oh,
it's important.
Nothing yet.
We get all those details.
So,
right.
So I'm starting off with the local grind Scotch ale. Thanks to Doug here, and
it's a Scotch ale. It should have been a tip off.
Yeah, but how many Scotch ales do you find with coffee in them? That's not a thing you see much. So
no,
awesome.
Does that sound good to you?
Oh, it's good.
No,
At least to me.
No. I didn't ask if it was good. I asked that it sound good. Two different things. No,
sounds good to me.
Does that sound good though, Doug? A Scotch ale with coffee?
Initially, I was a little hesitant just because I've never had it before, but
right.
For me, it blends well. But let's see what
cool.
JG said, because our taste buds are all different. So,
no, I agree. I mean, I'm a proponent of coffee, so if it's got a stronger sort of flavor profile, I'm not going to be deterred by it. Given that it's just straight up a coffee blend in here, I'm really, really digging this.
Oh yeah, and let's see here. Let's see. Ooh, bright rainbow background today. Yes. Jerry says rainbow bricks and JHC with the Progress flag shirt. Nice. We celebrate Pride year round here, right, Doug?
Yes, sir. We absolutely do.
This is actually. I will move my microphone. This is a rad shirt. Something that the National At-Home Dad Network did, really accepting dads. And we've partnered with TYEF. It's a camp in New England. And their focus is on transgender youth and giving them a place to grow and learn and be in a safe and comfortable environment. So all the proceeds that are made off of the shirt go to TYEF. We don't collect anything from it. So one of the friends of the show, Matt Strain, who's on the board with us, did a great job in reaching out with them, and we started up this partnership. And with my little bit of design ingenuity, made this shirt, and it's been going really well.
Where can we get shirts like that? Because obviously we're a very pro LGBTQIA plus house here, so that is something I'd love to be able to get one.
Teespring is now Spring, so it's on our Spring store. If you look for, or if you search Teespring National At-Home Dad Network, you can find it there. It's on our store.
Okay, so but could you search it like NAHDN? Is that like how you would search it to get the actual National At-Home Dad?
You could. Network? You can try that. Yeah, I think we've tagged enough of the site. We've had enough tags on it to for people to be able to find it. Yeah. If not, National At-Home Dad Network works too.
Yeah. So the con itself, where is that actually going to be at?
So this year, as Greg was mentioning, Ohio, we're right outside of Cincinnati in Covington, Kentucky. We're right across the river. We are at the Embassy Suites River Center. So there we go. There's the rad shirt. And again, all proceeds go towards the TYEF camp and organization. So, and you can find all the other stuff that we've got through the Spring store. But yes, we're in Ohio. Well, not in Ohio. We are technically in Kentucky. So we are bound by whatever regulations, mandates that are going on, which aren't really any in Kentucky. But as an organization, we said we are going to take control of our group and making sure that we are protecting our attendees and ourselves as much as we possibly can. We are insisting on masked servers while we're there. We're insisting that everybody be masked wherever they're going and when we're in session in places. I personally am, when I go, I'm going to have my own room, and I'm going to probably eat my meals in my room, kind of like what Greg is going to do. Also, maybe even eat outdoors. So really trying to minimize the impact on myself and my family by where I'm congregating and what I'm doing. We have to, as part of the convention, we will be inside, but we have confined space that is just for us. So we don't have outside visitors and things wandering through. That'll be a plus.
At least you're not in Sturgis.
Good point.
You're freaking Charlie.
Good
I had to come
point.
back on screen. I had to come back
That's
on
okay.
screen to laugh at that one.
No, you gotta, because that, we're not Sturgis. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Your voice just cut out there, JHG.
Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy. So yeah, Lauren says she appreciates orgs and establishments that are still being cautious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go Doug.
No, I was gonna say, and people, and like if I go to some place and I'm like grocery shopping or whatever, I appreciate when people are actually masked up too, understanding like the importance of it.
Or even just staying clear.
Right. I mean, wherever I go, I don't even get out of the car without putting my mask on at this point. I just make it part of it's like my habit now. So turn off the car, throw the mask on, then go and do. I mean, it's as much of a convenience that I'm not having to try and fit it on while I'm walking into a store. But, it's just a common thing. It's
funny. No, it's funny, man, because I was actually Doug's gonna be shocked. I'm glad he's sitting down. For the first time since the pandemic, it was in a Walmart, Doug. Long story short, our router went out, and normally it's not that bad because most of our house is hardwired, meaning everybody, it's not wireless. But the lady and her young patient that we have here at the house, they only do the Wi-Fi, so I had to do something. So long story short, it was funny because the lady was like, I was like, oh, we can just order from Amazon and it'll be here Thursday. So then she comes back and she's like, well, we can do something at Walmart. I can pick it up. So that was a sign that like she's not waiting till Thursday. You know what I'm saying, fellas? Like something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're not aware. I'm like, oh, okay. No. So long story short, I found one on Amazon. I do a lot of shopping on Amazon, and then what I do is I go to like try to find it elsewhere. I try to find it at a local place, or I try to find it like mom and pop shop. None of that was going on, so I ended up going to Walmart. Long story short, we get back to Walmart. It's like 10 minutes or 15 minutes before it closes, and it's just me and the boys, and no one's in electronics. No one. But they had our router, so we literally milled around there for 20 minutes, like playing like a game where like when people came towards us, we would like back off, and it was like this big like avoidance game, Doug. Yes, it was Tetris, and it was great because no one was in there, and it was just fun doing it. But like I can't imagine being in there at like 5:00 on a Friday, trying to like distance, even with we had our masks on, but there are people who had masks like this, masks over their eyes. I mean, it was just a mess. like it was just right, like it's just a mess. Like, yes, I just wanted to say, I took us on a tangent, but I wanted to say yes. It is really nice when people are, people were trying to be distant too, but it's really nice. And again, with all these spiking levels of of COVID, this pandemic's not over. So like. Nope. While I understand and appreciate what Lauren is saying here, and I agree with her totally. Hello, people. We're not at the, we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah. Right. And
Come
you
on,
know,
work with us.
yeah, exactly. Especially organizations like hotels and places like that where you I mean, come on. I'm grateful that the hotel that we have has a cleaning policy that they instituted way early on in the pandemic, and one that was above what was expected at that time. And they've kept that in place, and they're still doing it. They don't let workers into the hotel rooms until you are done with your stay. Like, they don't come in and change your sheets, and they don't clean up, like clean things and whatnot. They just leave you to your room for the entirety of your stay. So there's no cross-contaminating and things like that. So that's a plus. I appreciate that they have that as a regular operating procedure in their hotel. I mean, the variable, as always in most places, is other people and whether or not they're going to, protect each other, themselves, and do what they need to do and wear masks when they're inside.
And Lauren's right too. Back up. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch my stuff. Back up. Like, right.
I just want to remark that Greg's face was the best there. Exactly, Lauren. You went, woo! Like, what did you open?
We need a screenshot.
I hope so.
Go back and screenshot it. It's there.
I wasn't ready for that. So
this modern times Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with marshmallow, coconut, and vanilla.
Oh,
Greg's going big, baby.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Shout out to stay-at-home dad David Rogers. Thank you for this.
All right.
San Diego, I wouldn't be able to get any of this big, black, crazy beer. I have no idea how old this is, but it's not fresh. It's not.
It ain't young. It ain't
young, right?
Mm-hmm.
This beer's vegan. It says, damn it. I'm already on my second, and we haven't even seen any of my silly ass videos. Well, we saw this one.
Free beers!
If you can catch them.
Yeah. Do you want to catch them? When winds are throwing that kind of thing around, you don't want to be messing with it.
Yeah, and Ida was just no joke. Like, not that any hurricane is a joke, and I think we've all kind of been through a hurricane, maybe not the eye, but we've all kind of been through that, with that tropical storm that rolls through after, which is no fucking joke. Like, I think people think that, like, it's kind of, it's not a hurricane anymore. No, those storms are worse. Like, to me, they're like 10 times worse than your normal average, like, even, thunderstorm that comes through. Just the wind and again, what we saw in New Jersey and New York was just horrifying. I'm just glad that it was horrifying. Like, we all make fun of New York. We do. It's almost kind of an American thing. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't live in New York, if you live in New York, you defend New York. And if you don't live in New York, you make fun of New York. But that was a time where I was like, oh, hell no. Like y'all need to back off from New York. Well, what do you expect in a subway? Do you expect water there? No, you don't expect like a deluge. No, you don't.
No.
Stop. Like, you don't. No one expects no one expects that their basement's going to be flooded by like 5 inches of rain. Like, nobody expects that shit. So let's just
the
chill.
The videos of water pouring through people's windows into their basement and just snaking down further into their home. It's like, that's scary. It's not fun, especially when that's your living space, when that's all you've got.
Yeah. So I have to say, go ahead, Greg.
Real quick, this beer, bourbon, nice but not overpowering. I'm not getting any marshmallow, but I do taste the vanilla. This is really nice, and unfortunately, as I was telling you guys, I'm kind of low on my beer, so I usually don't open bombers and try to finish them. But this, to me, bombers are to share. Like, if I was going to homedadcon, I would bring it to JHG's room, and we would slam this, or we would have we would share it, But I'm just jumping in. Doug, this is fantastic. No, I mean, again, it's a little bit older, so I guess I'm not getting the coconut, which is cool because I'm not that big of a coconut person. But this is really, really good. Thanks to David Rogers. Cosmic Entity, just so everybody knows.
Cool.
Doug, you were going to say something, buddy.
I was just going to say, remarking on New Orleans is like they had a lot of stuff, but their levee system actually worked pretty well. Which is, if it didn't like it did for Katrina, it would have been a million times worse. That hurricane was way stronger than Katrina was. So if you think about that, I mean, not that it was great or good. I'm just saying at least they had some sort of defense. I mean, like New Jersey and New York City were like, well, here we go. And then just all the water came in. They just didn't.
Right. Well, that's
true.
It's
a part of the country that is not typically used to a hurricane season. So they don't know what to expect and how to deal with it. So
yeah, I've been seeing a ton of chaotic weather videos. Yeah, if you go to my Twitter, I was just retweeting them because I was just horrified. But I also want people to in my opinion, one of the worst things about America is the lack of perspective of other people and their suffering. Like we just don't give a fuck, in my personal opinion. So whatever. The hurricanes over there, or the earthquakes over by Lauren,
or the fires
are over by Lauren. Who cares? Right? It's not me.
There's a lot of
right. That's why I don't do it. I don't want to prolong anybody's suffering, but at the same time, I want people to look. This is what other people are going through. Can you at least be a little bit respectful, or
that's
least
their plight?
Right.
I saw you pouring one out there, JC. Let's hear about that one before I pour mine.
All right. So before we move off of HomeDadCon any much further, and speaking of beer, one of the sort of pseudo sponsors of ours is Sam Adams this year. Sam Adams Tap Room in Cincinnati is donating I think it's 3 different styles, including their non-alcoholic Just the Haze. So I'm going to try this out. So this is the first time I've ever had this. Being a pseudo masshole, I have to have Sam Adams. Oh,
why do you laugh at the masshole comment, Doug?
Well, it's a very specific idea that you're putting out there when you say that. So,
kind of is what it is, right?
Oh, this is excellent. This is a really nice take on a hazy IPA without the
Yes. So you're getting hop presence.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Boy Kyle there with a comment. He's sporting the same shirt the HG is there. Very nice. Sorry, JG. Tell us more about that.
About
the beer.
Oh yes, no. It's nice and light. It has a good citrusy feel. One could say it's crushable. So if you wanted to just sit out, this would be a great summer beer too. You could mow the lawn and finish with this if you don't want to get ripped, and this is great for that. Really good. Really, I mean, now there are so many new non-alcoholics coming out now. Now they're starting to really get it and understand it, and this shows. These it's Sam Adams. These guys know how to brew beer, and they're not skimping out on this. This is worth getting again.
Sweet,
but it isn't an IPA.
It's a hazy. That's close enough.
Why not?
Just the haze.
Oh, okay. Oh, just the haze, no alcohol. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was John Adams. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. What's her name?
All right, Lauren. All right,
Lauren. Oh, Lauren Boebert. Yes. I'm just waiting for Minute Maid to drop it. Yes, there is, but I couldn't pinpoint it. But Jerry, I'll see you next week, bro. We're gonna hang out.
Nice.
I know Jerry's vaxxed, so Also, Jerry, here's I got a project I want us to collab on, bro. So, and it's funny because this is the first time I'm saying it over the stream, but yeah, I could just easily DM Jerry, but why not just say it here? A royale, NA with cheese. Oh, that's great.
That is a tasty burger.
That was me,
great.
by the way. I, for some reason, don't have it showing up. So, like, one of the hosts isn't even showing up with his own comment, so that was great.
All right, so no worries, JC. We'll go back to homedadcon. No worries. At this point, though, I kind of want to show some crazy. I want to show some crazy.
Oh, please.
Not sure what level of craziness we want to start, so we'll just start here.
Tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies.
Someone threw a kitchen sink at his head.
Hey, right. Hey, Joe, you could have threw the fucking vaccine at it. You ever?
Ding.
Did you think about?
Turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it.
He looks like hell too. It's fantastic, actually.
He does.
Sorry, I'm not rooting for anybody to get COVID, but you got it, so I can at least respond
all
now.
Kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin.
So I'm going to do all the other things except the thing that is proven to work.
Right, and horse tranquilizers or horse something.
Pack.
No dewormer, not a horse.
Dewormer. Yeah, the dewormer.
Oh, okay. So a dewormer.
Hey, let's deworm ourselves.
I love it when what you guys don't see is like through my screen here. It says remove from studio. I wish it said remove from the earth. That'd be great. Like, I don't want him to die. Can we send him? Look, man, we need people to go to Elon needs people to go to Mars. So
yep.
He can do his fucking stupid podcast from Mars, and Spotify can pay him because he gets paid millions of dollars for spreading misinformation, bullshit, and lies. So why can't he do that from Mars? That's where I'm at.
Who's the comedian that had him on recently that took him to task? Burr? Was it
Bill Burr?
Yeah. Bill Burr took him to task. It's like, dude, you just need to get the fucking vaccine. Why don't be a dick about it. Just
anything but a free vax, Joe. Right. Get this clown off my damn screen. Right. Maybe he just wants to play scientist and test things. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Notice Rogan pointing his camera up at his short ass. Okay, so while we're at Kooky, real quick, we might as well just keep it rolling.
Keep going.
To Walmart. Stop going to Target. Stop buying the foods that they have been producing for years with fetal tissue parts to kill you. John D. Rockefeller was a devil worshiper. Part of the Illuminati. You heard Jaron Jackson say it. Boy, oh boy, it drives them wild when somebody gets out in public and says the Illuminati.
Wait, hold on. Did he just say Jaron Jackson?
Say it. Boy, oh, Illuminati. You heard Jaron Jackson say it. Boy, oh boy,
Jaron.
It drives them wild when somebody gets out in public and says the Illuminati. Do the research.
The Illuminati.
Connect the dots. The Illuminati is real.
Not the Illuminati. The Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like you gave
the
it an accent for some reason.
And devil worshippers. Didn't devil worshippers go out in the 80s?
Oh,
remember
no,
that? I mean,
that shit's still around for evangelicals. Sorry.
What, devil worshiping?
Yeah.
Well, oh, really? People like it's not this Little Nas X playing a game with people. Like people literally like.
I mean, it was worse in the 80s and 90s with the whole satanic panic and all that shit. Like JG, you could speak to that simply for your musical choices because your musical
Judas
choices.
Priest, man.
They were all right after
they just
them.
Put they put messages in the music.
Yeah, it was a mess.
This is the time where Ozzy was telling people to kill themselves, right? Or allegedly.
That was the whole thing was Judas Priest. There was a court case where parents sued Judas Priest because they said that their music, when played backwards, made their son kill himself. So they actually, yeah, I know. And they didn't win because it's asinine. It's stupid. And there's been bands who have made songs that have reflected that idiocy since then. But Judas Priest was like the one band who was put on trial for supposedly trying to kill some parents' kids because, parents are crazy. And a lot of that stems from the beginning of the PMRC back when Tipper Gore in the late 80s had a podium in which to try and make people pure and try and put metal bands and everybody on trial for deviance and Satan worship and whatever you want to call it. And they were no joke because they created like a whole thing where they would take artists' music and they'd send information out to parents who were really concerned. And here's the music. Here's the lyrics of the music that your kids are listening to. And it's awful and you shouldn't let them listen to it. And this is where the explicit lyrics stickers come from. But that whole thing started from the PMRC.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became a symbol of, I really want to listen to that because it was something that parents didn't want you to listen to.
Right.
It was the reverse. It was
right.
It blew up in their face.
My one of my faves, and I haven't listened to him in a while, but I'm going on a road trip soon, so I'm going to get back, is Frank Zappa. And he was out front on all this. He was fighting this before it even became an issue. And then I don't think he passed, but then he just not stopped, but like then it really became an issue. But he was screaming about this. You can go on YouTube, man, it's great. But I want to the comment section, y'all crazy,
please,
y'all crazy. What happens when you play a country song backwards?
You get back together. You're not drunk.
Oh, thank you. Exactly.
Back. Charlie for
you
the
don't
win.
Get divorced. Everything's good.
Right. Lauren says somehow she missed that. Maybe successfully pulled a bunch of Tom Cruise camera angles tricks over me. She missed the. I believe she's talking about she missed the whole
Rogan being
Judas
short.
Priest, or was it Rogan being short?
Yeah,
okay.
She was talking about because Tom Cruise is notably short. And they do a bunch of camera angles to make him look taller.
Yes,
so,
yeah. They do. He didn't look short though, jumping on Oprah's sofa, but that's another story. That's another story for another time. Let's see here. Matt says, what did Matt? Satanism is a legitimate religion for sure. I was just saying it. To me, I felt that it reached its peak during like the 80s or like the 90s, like. People seem to be. Well, what did you say, Doug? The Satanism. What was it? What did you say?
The Satanic Panic. But
there
is the Church of Satan now, which is actually not a satanic worshiping thing. They just are a humanist organization, and they have religious backing. So if people become members of their church, they're protected from the new Texas abortion law, because it's against their religious beliefs to obey that law. It's a loophole.
Well, there are. I think it's the same group who said that if you're going to put the 10 Commandments in front of a courthouse, we're going to put our statue of Baphomet out there. We're going to put a petition out to put our Satan statue out because it's religion. You want to put yours out there, we can put ours out there. So these crazy little loopholes that evangelical and crazy Republicans put out there, there are ways to have it backfire on them, just like with the groups right now who are flooding those anti-abortion websites with fake false claims because you set it up, they're going to take advantage of it because you're dumb. And I just learned earlier today that GoDaddy is is giving them 24 hours to stop doing what was the Texas anti-abortion website or whatever that's taking in the info. You got 24 hours or you're gone.
Right. Bye. Terms of service. So 5'7" is not short. Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Being 6 foot, a little over 6 foot, I'm not considered short, so I'm not going to get into this conversation. Doug, I'm just not.
No, I'm talking. So Matt, you can be mad, but the thing is, here's the thing: Tom Cruise is fucking like 5'6", 5'7". Okay, who gives a shit? The problem is they keep they make him try to look like he's 6'4". He's not fucking 6'4". He's good at what he does. He's 5'7". I could care less if he's 5'7". I don't care. But the problem is they keep perpetuating this thing that he's actually taller. Like there's a lot of stories from Hollywood, like different actors who are actually tall and him like standing on phone books and shit to be like his height, or like the problem is
eye level.
Yeah, like there's a whole range of folks for height, and I don't particularly care. I just think it's funny that I post fucking Alex Jones standing next to Joe Rogan, two of the biggest dipshits on the planet
Ever.
Alex Jones looks like a fucking giant standing next to Joe Rogan. And it's the funniest thing ever because it's like two dipshits, and I'm like, great. One's like a little person, the other one is not. So I don't know.
I said the bad word.
So
I had to censor myself because I was going to say the exact same thing, and I went, nope, little person. And I actually self-censored somehow. I'm not sure how.
So I'm gonna throw a loophole to both of you, and then after that we'll get to our.
Well, I haven't even talked about my second beer yet, so we'll get to my second when we're done.
We'll do it.
You want to do it real quick before we get to this?
Yeah,
it might be in the side.
Yeah, this is a JHG beer that he sent me. Elbow Patches.
JHG beer.
Yeah, Virginia Beer Company, Elbow Patches Oatmeal Stout. It's exactly what you want out of an oatmeal stout. Good, got just all that really kind of earthy flavor to it. Really good. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
So we'll blame Manny for this. What are you? And we're only blaming Matt. We're only blaming Matty for the timing. Meaning he put a comment in there that I have to respond to. So we're doing. What are you listening to? Well, what I listened to this week was some bullshit. I listened to Kanye West's Donda. Oh my god! Like I want that time of my life back. Dog, it was. There was one song that was like, I was a little bit like, okay, I'm into this one. The rest, it was like 2 hours of my life I will never get back. But what happened is, I don't know if you guys saw, Peppa Pig, the Peppa Pig account on Twitter started trolling Kanye or something like this. So this is why we have Peppa Pig for life. Peppa Pig came out and said something like, "Oh, I should have this tweet, man." Something like, "Oh, we didn't have to rent out a whole stadium in order to get like."
It was the comparison of it was like Kanye's was 6.0 and Peppa Pig's was 6.5,
right?
And it was we didn't need a full stadium to get the 0.5,
right? Yeah. Right, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yes, it was. Yes. And then now there's all these memes going around, and now they want a versus. They want Peppa Pig versus Kanye for a versus. So I'm down for that. Actually, I cannot stand Peppa Pig, but Peppa Pig is better than Kanye. Greater than. Are you? Is any? Listen,
that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. Also, another hot take. So this whole thing about Kanye and Drake had an album. So Drake dropped an album last night. So then I got on Twitter and people are like, "Oh, this one song with Lil Wayne is great." So I went on Spotify and listened to that one song by Drake, by Lil Wayne, and that one song, I only listened to one song. It's Drake. I knew after one song was going to go downhill fast for me because I don't like him at all. But the one song, Doug, was vastly better than that whole Donda mess. And like, it's just a mess. Like, Kanye is a mess. So anyway, that's what I was listening to. You guys have anything?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Go.
I sent you the link, Greg, but I am a big podcast listener. I listen to podcasts when I'm just working and walking around doing shit around the house. So I decided to load up this one called Aftershock, which is I like a lot of serialized fiction podcasts, where it's just every episode, step towards the story. And this was written and created by Sarah Wayne Callies, who was not Carol. In The Walking Dead, the very first 2 seasons, Rick Grimes' wife, who ended up banging Shane because she thought Rick Grimes was dead. She's the one who created this and made it, and it is excellent. It's basically about if a like earthquake hit California, which that's not a new trope, but basically if it hits it and also a disease breaks out on an island that somehow during this earthquake comes up out of the ocean. So it's like this weird. So, but like David Harbour from Stranger Things is on it, and like it's a lot of bigger names, but it's really well done, really well produced, really quick, fast. Each episode's like maybe 25, 35 minutes, so pretty quick listen to. So I recommend that one. That's what I'm listening to. What about you, JHG? What's in your ear holes?
What's in my ear holes on a pretty regular basis is it's kind of like a video thing, but it's a thing called The Daily Doug. And it's this guy, Doug Helvering. And he's a music teacher. But what he does is he breaks down different songs that people provide to him or things that he's interested in. And as he's listening to the music, he breaks down how it's structured. So he'll tell you what the chords are. He'll tell you what the transitions are. He'll tell you how interesting the songs are if he's really into them. Where the chords are going. He covers a whole bunch of stuff. You guys talked about Frank Zappa earlier. He's done Frank Zappa. He's done Dream Theater, Iron Maiden. He does this thing on Mondays called Metal Mondays, where he covers metal bands. A lot of the stuff that he covers is that, but on Mondays for a period, he was doing just Iron Maiden stuff. But he's been covering more and more eclectic and different kind of music. He's covered Genesis and Yes and things like that, long songs, whole albums. It's really fascinating. I'm big into music. I grew up learning piano. I don't play it well at all anymore, but I have a vast appreciation for music. And so to see someone go through a song and point out how a song is written and how amazing it is, it's just a lot of fun for me to sit down and listen to. So one of the songs, and I shared it with Greg a couple of days ago, was the Tom Joad song from Bruce Springsteen. And what he did with that one is he did 3 different versions of it. He did the original version that Bruce did back in 78 or somewhere around that time. Then he did the cover by Rage Against the Machine. And then he did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance by Bruce Springsteen with.
What's your audio cut out there, John?
He did it with Tom Morello, who's known for Rage Against the Machine, and what's the one he did with
Prophets of Rage that he does with Chuck D.
Prophets of Rage,
Chuck D, motherfucker, goddamn.
What was the band? What was the band with Reese?
Audio
Slave.
It was Audio Slave, wasn't it?
Okay, Audio Slave with Chris Cornell. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, Audio Slave was Chris Cornell.
Soundgarden or something like that. Right. Yeah.
But the version that because he focused on the Bruce Springsteen performance with Tom Morello because of how Tom Morello took like he expanded on the end of they expanded on the end of the song. It's a pretty short song originally, but Tom's
they played the fuck out of that song.
They played the fuck out of that song. It is it's amazing. Tom Morello is one of the most underrated artists as a guitarist because he knows
in our
era, absolutely, because he knows so much about music. He covers all the different kind of genres, and he's really, really smart.
Sweet.
Really, really amazing performer. So watching this guy Doug break down this song and help me to understand what they're doing within the song makes it that much more enjoyable for me. And then I get exposed to different kinds of music that I haven't listened to before because I'd never heard this
always
song
important
before.
Always important.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So that's what I'm listening to.
Excellent, man. Beers like music a lot, where I believe you always got to be trying new stuff. You always got to be pushing your boundaries of what you think you like, and that's why I listened to that Donda bullshit, because I knew that I wasn't going to like it, but I still wanted to hear, because at some point it's FOMO. Everybody's like, all right, like, okay, cool, let's hear. Listen, this dude made this big production out of something. Let's hear what it was, and it wasn't.
I will tell you something. I'm glad that you took that risk, because there's one thing that I have never heard, and I don't think I will ever hear it. I have no interest in it, which is Lulu, that the Metallica and what's his face mashup. What's his name? Oh, damn it. I can't remember his name now.
I don't want to hear it, though.
I don't want to hear it. I've heard that it's terrible, so I don't need to hear it. That was a phase of Metallica's career where they were just doing crap. They were doing shit. Was this the orchestra? Was this the orchestra part? No, this was
after the orchestra part.
This is the one.
The orchestra wasn't that bad, to be honest with you.
No, the S&M and S&M2 stuff is pretty awesome. I mean, Michael Kamen from the 90s, early 2000s.
I know it's a fisheye lens threw me off, dude. That's what it looks like a little.
Oh,
right. We gotta get Jay a crispy tan though before he can be Busta Rhymes. But anyway.
Anyway. Go ahead, JC. Sorry.
Right. Give me some more.
I love you,
shut up. Right.
You, Jerry.
I almost shut that beer up my nose. Thank you. Everybody's like, give me some more.
Fantastic. That's one of my favorite Busta Rhymes songs. I'm not going to start singing it or we're going to get thrown off. Anyway, though.
Yeah, we can. But yeah.
No, Jay.
Let's move on.
Yeah. No. Thanks for that.
Even with staff refusing to wear a mask.
You do not have a grade. What are the rules? Why? It's not a BC policy. BC policy says you have to observe exemptions. Well, I'm gonna.
RCMP say this happened at a Port Alberni DQ on 3rd Avenue shortly after 9 p.m. on Saturday. Police say a man became verbally aggressive when staff asked him to put on a mask. He was asked to leave and did. And when he came back and was asked to leave again, he relieved himself at the cash register.
Is there a worse term, a more gentle term for someone taking a piss than relieving themselves? It's PG, I get it. It just does not do the act justice.
No, just not. No.
He did not want to wear a mask at a Dairy Queen in British Columbia, Canada, from what I take from that whole clip.
Yeah, that was Canada. Using the Canadian boot was brilliant, Art. That was brilliant. Doing this Canadian.
Share this video with us says it highlights how people can't forget about human decency due to a difference in opinion.
No shit.
No.
Thank you.
Thanks for stating the obvious.
Right.
Oh my god.
So now we're out here peeing on people, or trying to, because we don't want to wear a mask. You know, you would think it would be simpler to just wear.
All right. I'm gonna take a different approach here. Here's my approach.
Please, yes.
Here's my approach. We don't kink shame on this show.
Okay.
Maybe he's really into water sports and voyeurism and exhibitionism. Well, maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
He's just comfortable. He's
Talking
comfortable.
about taking it.
Talking about taking a piss, eh? Oh yeah, don't you know?
Doug, third beer after this, and again, I've been warning Doug. Doug, if you don't go to Iceland and come back with a story in the airport, I'm going to be disappointed in you.
I do not wear a mask because I do not believe I need one.
Doug, have we seen him before?
If you're scared of me, that's you. That's on you.
Oh, is this the other view?
You don't believe.
Oh no, it's not. All right.
No. I thought again. I'm with you, JG. I thought it was that same guy that we had on like 2 weeks ago.
Individual liberty. Yeah. Good luck in your life. I'm pretty sure I'm about to get kicked out of here, but you know
hope. What are we waiting for?
Not give a fuck.
Clearly, you don't, sir.
Good.
I do
About
not
anybody.
give a crap.
A crap.
That's better.
If you believe in what you believe, rise up and do not do it. It's that simple. It's that simple. You have a right. My body, my choice.
Here we go.
I believe in that. My body, my choice.
Hey, I know you're not wearing a mask.
Anybody that doesn't believe in that,
throw spittle all
please
over, buddy,
walk.
because
You're now on the internet.
As he
Please walk.
I love that she's just laughing at him. I just love it.
And now you're on the internet, and he's
Yeah.
like, and there's the thing, people like that.
Yes.
You know what,
They're getting worse. Yes.
Yes.
What I see that's going to be is like, we see people like, I'm just expressing my opinion, and they lose their shit online, and then they're upset that they're getting outed to like their employer, to like their like, yeah, guess what? You can be a dick. That's your right to be a dick, but guess what?
There are consequences.
All that shit where we heard fuck your feelings and all that stuff. Guess what?
Right.
Your feelings don't fucking matter.
What
If you're
happened
gonna do
to
that?
fuck
Guess
your
what?
feelings?
You want to ignore the safety of other humans because you're inconvenienced by wearing a mask.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yep.
What happened to fuck your
And
feelings?
Daniel Fisher posting that's exactly the point, because I guarantee that dude is not not
my body, my choice.
Yeah.
Since when has that been
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck.
What?
Well, here we go. Not in Texas.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and soon to
yeah.
be Florida and a couple other places.
Yeah. Mississippi's next up. Mississippi has so yeah, it's coming. So
There's
get
that
ready.
southern swath that's just going to sort of roll along with that. I have a feeling.
Where is like that? This kind of alarming. I know everything is short staffed.
Well,
but where is the fucking security in places now? Everybody's short staffed, but there is like, I just feel like, okay, you get behind, like there's a level of, in my opinion, safety when I go to an airport. I kind of feel once I get past the security, I feel a little bit safer than the shenanigans that happen afterwards. At least you hold on. I'm looking at JG. He's got a thing, and Doug is vehemently shaking his head. Just hold on now.
Go first.
I go through security, and I'm supposed to feel safe. Okay. Yeah. Now we have this motherfucker running around screaming and hollering. Nobody's there. I mean, he could have went on a 15-minute rant. Nobody's fucking there. Like, I told Doug, I think, like, I'm not worried about him and Joe. They're big, they're grown ass adults. They can take care of themselves. It's all good. But I'm worried on some level that,
Except if you're the shaman.
They're gonna deal with like some bullshit like this, or like I just because again, this guy starts screaming. He's like, I don't know, I'm gonna get thrown out. Yeah, it's gonna take like 15 minutes though. Because
right.
By the time people get there and somebody says anything, it's like this dude could have just went off. So like it just really scares me that my friend Doug and Jill, I want them to have a great time, and I know they're going to. I'm just afraid of like anybody really getting on a plane. When people are like, "Oh, I'm getting on a plane," I'm like, "Well, good luck. Tell me when you land, so I can be like, yeah, you landed and it's cool." Like, I don't know what to say. JC, you were gonna say something, and then Doug, I don't know if you want to talk about this motherfucker that we just saw, or
I go JC first.
Any of that shit. You got JC. You got a whole bunch of people. Like you're, with all due respect, sir, you're trying to get a whole bunch of people to get on the plane to get together. So that we could have our time together and we could have our retreat and all that stuff for at-home dads. At the same time, this is what they're being subjected to, or might, or something.
That's possible. I mean, we have enough guys that can drive. I'm going to drive, so I'm going to be isolating myself. But yes, there are people who are going to fly, and that's just because that's the way that they're going to be able to get there, and. I don't even know what to say towards that, because
nothing.
I mean, there's nothing to say, right? There's nothing to say.
Well, Doug's about to say something. I don't know if you want to.
But so that guy in that airport, he clearly got through security by he had that thing around his neck. He had his face covered when he first walked in, so he made a conscious choice to take that down and to start losing his fucking mind in front of people. So there are only so many safeguards that will work until somebody goes, you know, that screw finally pops.
I don't.
But then, so you know, as we've talked about on the show
this is why
numerous times, more and more. Yeah, I don't blame you. More and more. People are being exposed through social media. People with cameras, they're catching people, and they're being taken to account. Finally, they're being taken to account for their actions, because they're putting it's a public safety issue. In the end, you are consciously deciding, I'm going to defy basic common decency and common knowledge about what happens when you're out in public, and try and make a statement. It's going to get you in trouble, whether it's security dragging you off or you lose your job. So
we would hope. Doug?
Okay, so the illusion of safety.
I'm
going to go a bit deep.
There we go.
But it's not going to be wrong. So when you go security, that security shit is you got to do all the stuff. You got to take your fucking shoes off, because one guy one time had a fucking bomb in his shoes. And you get through, and you have to take all your stuff out if you have laptops and blah, 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 and you get through. So you're ostensibly weapon free when you get in there, because that's what they're screening for. They're screening for bombs and weapons and all that shit. Well, once you get in and you get past that, please note where you see security, because you don't. They figure you're safe once you're in there. That's the thing. Greg, you're like, I feel like I'm safe when I get back. No, the security checkpoints where you're safe. And you get back there, and here's the thing. It's not that the overwhelming majority of people are just there to get the fuck wherever they want to go. They don't want trouble. They don't want to deal with shit. But then you got people that are losing their shit, and security's they're fucking way back where the security element is. They're not They're not roaming where it's not like, and I'm going to use the term and forgive it, but the rent-a-cops that you see in a mall, they wander, but you don't have that in a fucking airport once you get past the security checkpoint. That's not how it works.
Right.
So, there's a whole thing with the, like, people.
It's only local law enforcement.
Yeah. And it's the idea of like, you think you're safe. You think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The illusion of safety, like you said.
Well,
absolutely.
Right. So can I jump in the comments here, because I can answer something real quick. So Kyle said that
South Dakota.
Hot governor already said they're going harder on Texas. And then
yes.
Lauren responded, Kyle, seriously, what the fuck does that even entail? I got your answer, Lauren, right here. Hold on 1 second.
There we go.
Following the Supreme Court's decision to leave pro-life Texas in place, I have directed the unborn child advocate in my office to immediately review the new Texas law and current South Dakota laws to make sure that we have the strongest pro-life laws on the books. So there's your answer, Lauren. Love you. Yep. I just wanted to make sure that you got that. And Kyle, Kyle tried to explain it, but like, you know, she's only hot to upset. I always say hot to. This is true. But who knows? Really, she tweeted it though, and I showed.
That was the one. Yeah, that was
right. That's the tweet. So yeah, Lauren, that's where we're at with all that. So I don't know if by the way, Cindy, South Dakota is going back to emergency surgeries only because ICOs are full. Thanks, Sturgis. And that was something that Miss Christy Nome pushed with Sturgis. She was happy about it. She wanted to bring all the people there. Of course, she wants them with no mask. So there we go with that. So anyway, I'm not sure. Do we have a third beer or what? Or you? I'm sorry, Jason.
JC, and then let's go third beer. You go.
Well, I was going to say, you know, South Dakota isn't the only place that's having the same issue, right? Because places like Oklahoma, their ICUs are full, and I mean, it's a never ever growing problem in all these places where they decided you don't need to wear a mask, you don't need to get vaccinated. We're not going to push it. We believe in your freedom, and now look what's happening. Now, I have no correlation at all with this little tidbit, but I have a cousin who just passed away. She's been fighting cancer for years, and she lived in South Dakota. So I can only imagine and she was in healthcare as well. I don't remember exactly her role in healthcare, but I believe she was a nurse. But the fact that she died as a result of cancer, ongoing cancer, and now this is going on, and she lived in South Dakota, I can only make an educated guess that it probably had to do with the problems going on in South Dakota. I mean, Nome is just, it's bad. It is a experiment in disaster.
And
along with Florida. But anyway.
And on that note, Doug.
Okay, I think let's do JC. You do third beer. You had yours present. Let's do it.
I do. I finally got my hands on peanut butter jelly Imperial Stout.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at?
With strawberry, raspberry, blackcurrant, cocoa nibs, and milk sugar.
Peanut butter jelly. They're gonna take us down for that though.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
With a peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
I already know.
I
already know I'm gonna like it. I know it doesn't have any head.
There you go.
Oh.
No head though. No head.
But
my friend brewer Kyle Gregoris, yes, I'm dropping names of Youngblood Brewing in Madison, Wisconsin, told me long ago that peanut butter beers don't have head because the peanut butter fucks with the chemistry of the head.
So what do you think?
Oh, I could. This is wonderful. All the different flavors that are supposed to be.
Hold on. JC, start. Hold on. Is that a clean glass? Is that a clean glass?
Oh, shut up, Mustico.
No, it wasn't even Mustico.
Oh, it was Kyle.
Right. Kyle. So you can't even blame Mustico.
It started there. I still
appreciate G. Freedom is real.
That's right.
Motherfucker. Freedom.
It's very important.
Really, shout out
the dumb part.
shout out. It's really good to see Daniel posting. So hopefully that means that everything's cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was
that.
Yeah. Glad you're here with us, Daniel.
Right. Look, it wasn't even him. It wasn't even.
I know. Shut up.
JC, you get more shit than Doug and I. We show up every week with dirty glasses, and nobody says.
I know, right?
You show up like once or twice, and man,
it must be hard. Like,
is that a dirty glass? Is that a dirty glass? You know what?
Here's the key.
Still drinks great.
Here's the key, JG. Just go in and automatically say it's dirty, even if it's clean. Just do I'm part of the dirty glass.
I
gang.
knew it. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just be like dirty glass gang.
I have to.
Gives you shit.
Right. Daniel. Daniel's building was hit, but his apartment was unscathed. I mean, all y'all were hit, Daniel. I mean, yeah, but thanks for that update, man. And again, we're glad to hear that everything's good.
So to Jeff's comment, I won't say that. I know I don't have my Red Sox glass, but I got my Pats hat.
Oh,
I will say that.
All right, let's drop him now, Greg.
Really that simple, right? Exactly. And let's drop Tepper too. What the fuck?
Yeah, whatever.
What are we doing here?
Hey, unless you're coming with a Steve Grogan neck thing, get out of here.
I don't know, JC. I don't know if we want to jump into football, but your Patriots might be a sleeper team.
They might.
Nope.
Oh
no,
they might.
And here's why. And I'm going to give you the reason why. And
you got the brilliance of Belichick, and you got maybe he could bring back that D, and then you got a young unknown quarterback who again could be a dog shit, but he might be the next. I don't know, Philip Rivers or something. We're not going to say Tom Brady because there is no other Tom Brady. Everybody knows this.
There's not.
So maybe he'll be the next Philip Rivers or Donovan McNabb or some bullshit like that. Anyway, who's like an above average quarterback, which again you can still win with. What are you going to say, Doug?
Give me the last Alabama quarterback who was a success in the NFL.
There isn't one.
There is. Joe Namath.
Oh,
that's the last successful Alabama quarterback.
Right. So there isn't one. I don't remember Joe fucking Namath.
So all I will say to that is that did they have Bill as a coach? Did they have that kind of system as a coach? Because Bill sees things in players that nobody else sees. And he's proven that with so many different players. He knows how to utilize their talents. And
yes, but JC, I don't think what you maybe you understand or not. No. See, where Doug is Doug lives in a world where he always is against Aaron Govea. So Aaron Govea is the biggest,
from a sports perspective only.
I don't want to say the biggest, baddest Boston fan, but he's the most, and I love the man. He knows I love him, but he's fucking obnoxious. And he knows he's obnoxious. He says he is. Mm-hmm. So Doug is used to going back and forth with Govea so much that I think he sees Govea when he sees Boston fan. When he sees a Boston fan, it's almost like a little he sees a little Govea. Right. And then what happens is all that shit that he says to Govea just automatically spits out. It's almost you know what I mean? Right. It doesn't even matter who it is. He's like, look, motherfucker, I've already been through with this on Govea.
It's an autoimmune response. It's an autoimmune response. Yes.
Right. It's an autoimmune response there's a virus. And the virus is mass holes. And any kind of mass hole there is, Doug is pushing back on that shit. Am I wrong, Doug, or what?
Yeah, not entirely, but I think it's really funny to watch Patriots fans bend themselves into thinking that they got the next Tom Brady.
No,
no.
There is no next Tom Brady.
There is no.
I hate to fucking hit you with the head on that one. There's one and only. And
I agree, but the problem is it's akin to the Celtics fan being like, "Man, we're gonna get back to the glory days of fucking Larry Bird." There's another one. the virus is massholes. That's great. No, it's like the same thing with like UCLA basketball. They're like, they were great in the 70s and they still think they belong. And I'm like, you guys haven't been really good since, like, you had a good small run in the 90s, but they still had this thing like, well, we won so many. Yeah, back in the fucking 70s when they were.
No. The Patriots were right. I'm sorry, go on, Doug.
No, but I'm saying like there's a mentality with it that you think that Belichick is a fucking great coach, absolutely great coach. I will not.
Yes,
he benefited from the greatest quarterback to ever walk on a football field.
Yes,
with really shitty talent around him most of the time.
Right, but
rotating talent. Yes,
but you got to give. See, this is where Belichick ain't shit without Brady. I don't know if I totally agree with that because again, without Belichick, you don't have Brady. I don't give a fuck how great Brady is. I mean, I do give a fuck about that.
No, that's not true because not true because Tom Brady won a fucking Super Bowl last year without Bill Belichick.
Right, but this was after he. Hold on, Doug. This is after he fucking grew up with Belichick. I don't know if I don't know if Brady. Hold on. Let me finish. I don't know if Brady goes to fucking the Browns. That he is the Brady that we have now, because the Browns have been horrific with quarterbacks until this recent stretch where we actually got a GM and a coach. Before that, everything was just going to be a fucking shit show. So I have to give Belichick a little bit of credit, which no people really want to, for developing Brady into the person that he is. Like Brady didn't just show up to Patriots, that little skinny fucking white dude with no fucking tan. And we all see the pictures. He was not built. He was just some fucking moron walking in. And Belichick somehow created a system that this man became one of the best ever, if not the. And we're not gonna get into that conversation. I'm just saying Belichick made a fucking environment that this guy could grow into the Hall of Fame quarterback that he is. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. He leaves after he learned all that shit with Patriots, and he's running around winning Super Bowls, and he's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying Belichick has something to do with that, and that's why I don't believe that Belichick ain't shit without Brady. Totally.
Oh, I totally agree with that, and I think there's 2 points, right? So Brady
2 points, and then Doug will drink.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Doug can start drinking because he probably doesn't want to hear us talking about Belichick.
No, he doesn't want to hear. He already has a rebuttal for it. Doug already is prepared for your. He's already prepared.
I do not because I don't know what he's going to say. So let him.
Yeah, but you've heard it before though. Trust me. Go on. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
Because he went through the Govea gauntlet. That's what happens. Govea spits out all the shit, and then Doug responds. Sorry, go on.
Brady's success is in an environment with the right kind of coaches and the right kind of people around him, right? So he was successful in Tampa Bay last year with the crew that he had around him, the coaches and the system. When he was in New England, he had a stretch where he couldn't do anything. Like they were piss poor, and that era to me, like from my perspective, when Josh McDaniels left and went to try and head coach in Denver, that's when Brady's performance just tanked. It was because the environment changed, because the coaching staff changed, because the focus changed. And when Josh Daniels came back, all of a sudden Brady had success again. So Brady is a successful quarterback when he has the right coaches and the right people around him. So he found the right people to make him successful in Tampa Bay. Bill has the ability to get the right kind of people and the right kind of coaches most of the time. He's a great coach. He's amazing for what he was able to accomplish over 2 decades of time with the Patriots. And so far, he's shown decent success without Brady. I think Cam Newton is Belichick.
Belichick? Well, when did? Okay, go on. I'll let you finish. And then,
so
like Kanye said, I'll let you finish.
So a lot of people, they pin the success of the Patriots on quarterback at this point. I think from the exterior, they say, who's the quarterback? Because that's good, the person that's going to lead them, right? And so when Cam Newton came on to the team, I was skeptical because, I mean, this is a guy that in the Super Bowl wouldn't fall on a fumble to try and win the Super Bowl. He hesitated. And that's the Cam that I knew, that I saw develop while he was in Carolina. So when he came on to the Patriots, I'm like, okay, great and all, and I hope he's successful, but I haven't seen him like really pull through and bring a team together and get the wins that he needs to get to reach that level of greatness or whatever that a lot of Patriots fans expect, but even exterior fans expect of the Patriots. Like, your quarterback is going to be the. So, anyway,
Matt, take a beer with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, Matt, you're
Not
about
in
to
a glass.
We're getting off sports ball, so you're about to miss, buddy.
Yeah, we're
just so you know.
We gotta.
Anyway,
Get you.
One last comment before we get to Doug's beer. I have to show it. Belichick ain't shit without bending every rule. Kyle, no lies were told or heard. Thank you.
Every team cheats.
Oh,
Kyle,
here we go.
Every
Here we
team
go.
cheats.
That makes it better.
Here we
I guess.
go. Here we go. Belichick did win 11 games with Matt Castle.
Doesn't
Yes,
make
he
it
did.
better. It's
Yes,
just
he
a
did.
fact. Every team
Yes, he did.
cheats.
Yeah, Doug. Yes, and this is why we have fines and all that. Doug, just skip that one and get to your beer because we'll be here all night if you don't. Look at that.
Yes, bring on
look,
this beer.
Look at Doug's face. He's already heard this argument,
know.
and he has a response. I already told you. Like he's prepared.
Hey,
It's baked in. It's
I
baked
don't
in.
want to lose audience members because I'm right and you guys are wrong. So let's go.
Oh, you said you guys. Wow.
Yes,
I'm
he
referring
did.
to you and Tepper. So.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh,
Good. I'm out of that. So we have a show the wonderful can art on that, Doug.
Yeah, then done. So this is from Mac Brewing.
It's from
I
who?
thought it was from Mac Brewing.
Okay.
So this is one of the things that I got from him.
Yep. Mac Brewing. Real quick, Doug. One of the only black-owned brewers in Pennsylvania. One of the only 3, I believe. But go on.
Yeah. So
He sent you a care package. He didn't send me shit.
well,
See how this works.
Yeah, but I sent him beer first. So let's.
I don't
make that very
care.
clear.
I don't care.
Oh.
He's my friend first, Doug. Didn't you notice? Did you get that memo?
Yeah, Greg, I usurped you. You just have to do better.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it was the comment that I liked his sister better than him. Remember what she was on?
That's
He didn't like
probably
that.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't cool.
No.
And he was like, "What the fuck, man?" So yeah,
Right.
that's on you.
Right. No, the beer had already been shit, but this is a joke. Anyway, go on, Doug. What exactly was the style? Do you remember?
He had said it was an English barley wine.
Oh,
19.4%.
of what? 19%. So, just so you guys know, Mac Brewing kind of has the Giant Jones angle. And if you're not familiar with Giant Jones out of Madison, Wisconsin, they like to make big beers, JHG, over 8%. But they make these big beers so drinkable and so sessionable. It's just
Dangerous.
out of control, and it's fucking dangerous. Yes. So where are we at, Doug? What's going on with this?
So this isn't overly sweet. Like, when you get barley wines and they're really big, it's like sometimes they're just like, here's this really fucking super sweet thing, and it's like cloying and like overwhelming. Not this. This is this does. I would have, if I would have had to peg it and went, okay, what percentage ABV? 8 or 9 is what I would have guessed. Not
19.
Wow, and it's 19.
So is it sweet? Overly sweet. How about that? Is it overly?
Yeah, it's sweet. It's not overly so. It's
Okay,
really
cool.
freaking good.
Cool.
So
yeah.
Well, it's really hard to.
But that's I'm done after this. There's no way I can have anything to drink after this. I might be dead.
Right. How are you going to make it up the stairs?
Slowly.
And you have to carry a dog upstairs too. I know.
No, I
this
know.
for a
My
fact.
dog, my wife took the dog
good.
upstairs because he won't walk up the stairs. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, dog can't walk up the stairs, so Doug has to take him, or somebody has to take him. Right. So I was like, Doug, you managing the dog and you. I hope this all works out.
No, Simon, our little Boston Terrier. Well, not little. He's like 25 pounds. He's a freaking fat.
But it's hard. It's hard to get a high ABV and not have it like overly sweet, as you already know, Doug. You already know.
Yeah, and I like the one I had last week or the week before. That was 14, and that thing drank like it was 5%. Like I don't know what voodoo that guy does to his beers, but
I don't know.
They're big ass beers, and they don't drink like it.
He's a smart motherfucker, is what he is.
For fucking sure, because this is delicious and it tastes great, and it's not like
that's awesome.
Something that's gonna knock you over the head like a 2x4. It's super good.
So I want to show you some not smart motherfuckers real quick, if that's
a great segue. Let's go.
Cool.
Perfect.
So I gotta get. Usually I don't. So Doug sends me. Okay, so for full disclosure, Doug sends me. Sometimes Doug sends me videos, and he's like, "Hey, this might be good for the show." But the problem with that is, I want Doug's reaction as much as I want our guest reaction. So I don't show Doug any of these videos. I never even peek at them. Sometimes I will tweet out ones on my personal account, not Daddy Porter, my personal Twitter account. But I never do ones where I know Doug can see them because I want his fucking reaction as much as I want the guest. So that's why Doug sends me stuff and then I never use them. And then hopefully he doesn't get mad. But it's not about mad.
I'm mad
it's more,
now.
See, well, you're gonna be mad because the shit that I'm showing is just gonna be silly. But the fact is, I don't show Doug any of this shit because I want to see his reaction as much as the guest. Like that's part of these videos. If it wasn't, I would just show Doug, hey, do you want to just do this video? Do you want to do that? But I want to see Doug's face as much as I want to see the guest because I think this shit's funny. But I'm gonna lead with this and say she got kicked off a bus because she refused to wear, say it, JHG,
a mask.
How much assholes are in the world? I need help! Help! I need to get somewhere. Please drive me. Please drive me. Someone give me a car ride. Someone give me a ride. Someone give me a ride.
I'm pretty sure that's not the way you're gonna get a ride, lady.
Yeah, no.
Look at Doug's again. These responses I can't pay money for. Doug, what do you got, bruh?
I all right. So I all right, so I have to ask because I am hard of hearing, and even though I'm wearing, what was she screaming at the very beginning? Like when you just started, what was she screaming?
You guys are assholes, or I need a ride, and the assholes of the world.
How much assholes are in the world?
Yeah,
all the assholes in the world.
I need help.
Hey. Okay, so I'm going to ask JG if she would be eligible for a metal band.
She'd be great, like
that
the
was
ambiance. Yes,
that was some angry pipes going there because.
We need to get her a wig, though, Doug. We need to get her a big hair wig.
Yeah, or we put her in a horror movie because
yes,
we just had Andy Lido on. Yes, Doug, you still got the horror in your head. That was horrifying.
Yeah.
And like you said, who the fuck is giving her a ride? Hey, that lady's screaming her head off. That sounds like exactly like
someone on TikTok already gave her a remix. Oh shit! I gotta do
those people on TikTok are fucking fast, dude. That shit. Somebody says see something, and they're just like, "I'm gonna do shit to this," and fucking 5 minutes later, some looks like a fucking professionally produced video comes out about this, and I'm like, "Oh my god! Like what?"
Oh,
she's absolutely projected her voice well. So I love Jerry. These are like some of the worst acting reels ever. Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's like total meltdown for attention shit.
Lauren taking notes from toddlers. Right. She sounds like my 4-year-old.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. Like
Absolutely.
again, JC, I know this for an answer, but I know this because I know you personally, and we literally communicate sometimes all day. So but I'm gonna ask the question so everybody knows. Yeah. Have you seen any screaming crazy Karens? Have you seen any shit like this? Doug and I always ask, pretty much always our guests. Have you seen any crazies?
Luckily I have not. I live in an area where it is crazy, ethnically diverse, and there are enough sane people around here that
where JC
something like that.
Where
I live in the DC metro area. I live northern Virginia, so just outside of DC, like the melting pot of the United States is probably here at this point, and I have not seen that level of like absolute insanity and like losing your ability to compose yourself.
Right. But part of this too is are you heavily involved? Is anybody here? Anybody, especially in the comments? I know the answer for Doug. Mostly Doug's children are older, so they're either in high school, advanced high school, or they're in college. And my kids are advanced high school and all that, and I homeschool them, so I don't really get around this. But I have a clip here from what's been going on a lot is these school board meetings. And our boy Kyle has attended a few, and he's been very vocal about mask and making sure that everybody's safe going back. He's got a young girl. He's got 2 young girls, but one I think Rainey, I believe. I don't want to call her out. Actually, I think his oldest is just in kindergarten or just coming in, and he's just terrified about what the hell's going on. And he's from Minneapolis or the surrounding area. Yeah. And once you get outside of Minnesota, Minneapolis, it becomes kind of crazy. So we've been hearing stories about these school boards. Doug, have you been hearing about them? And all people showing up and all over the place.
Well,
hold on, JC, before I play this. This has been going on a lot. So what were you going to say, JC?
Well, I was going to say, a couple of weeks or about a month ago, that whole stir up in Loudoun County. Loudoun County is just south of our county. It's like 20 minutes away. So
great beer.
So, yes, there's a lot of great beer around here. That being said, it's still that area of it's right outside of DC. It becomes a sort of a
crazy
white privilege, crazy, lose your mind, blow up that whole thing that got national attention in Loudoun County in Virginia.
Yes, Daniel.
Just south of me. It's like it's
Daniel.
not far away from you.
Yes, Daniel. Yep.
Yes.
And they have great beer too. And it's been a whole bunch of this.
This guy.
Order. Allow the speaker to finish. Thank you.
The deep state medical establishment wants all of us to be depopulated. I know you guys think that's a conspiracy theory.
Because it is.
It is.
No, it is.
They're all in cahoots with each other to depopulate us. They want us divided. They want all of us to fight each other so they can win. This is good versus evil. Evil's not going to prevail. All you've done is awaken a sleeping giant here. Every parent here wants freedom, except maybe some of them that are brainwashed by the deep state media. I used to watch Fox News deliberately. I'm a conservative. I won't even watch that now because Hannity, all the rest of them.
It's too liberal now.
Right.
Let me tell you who I do listen to, which are renowned doctors. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Christine Northrup, Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Zev Zelenko, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Simone Gold, and Dr. Scott Atlas. Those are true doctors.
No, they're not.
No,
they're
they're
not.
all fucking kooks. And I'm not just gonna let that shit go on my fucking stream without saying it. Let's go.
They get labeled as disinformation when they go
because they are.
Because it is.
And that's why they get labeled. Okay, cool.
Deep state narratives. Guess what? You can't even find them on Google.
Because it's bullshit.
Or anything. So here's where I suggest you go. DuckDuckGo, and you can find.
I mean, go to DuckDuckGo. It's a good search engine, but stop.
Right.
I love the ending here, though. The ending is great.
Wrap up your comments.
Where are we at?
Please wrap up your comments.
Where are we at?
Please wrap up your comments. Your time's up.
Right.
How many minutes do I have left?
Your time. Listen. Again, English.
Zero.
Your time is up, bitch.
Your time is up.
Okay? That means you're done, bitch. Okay.
Please wrap up your comments. Your time's up.
How many minutes do I have left?
Nothing. Get off.
0.
I love how everybody laughed and shit.
Anyways, I want all of you to think real.
It's over, dude.
You're at 0.
Because if you're up for re-election next year, it's going to be very difficult because when the truth does come out and all the people that believe in masks realize they were lied to and conned, I don't even think they're going to vote for you either.
Thank you. Your time is up, please.
You're done. You're done.
So, anyways, I strongly recommend that all of you.
No, I strongly recommend you shut the fuck up. And in fact, since they didn't cut you off, I'm going to. Dog.
All right. I read a tweet from a guy named, I believe his name is Michael Harriet. He is a person of color who's either he's a professor or an adjunct professor, and he mentioned being a child of the 70s and in the 80s. I recall something that I miss now, which is the idea that not being educated was a potential national security risk. And I was like, fuck, yes. That was like we got it. Hey, the Japanese kids are getting smarter than us. We need it. And they focused a lot on education. And then we got into the fucking, we got in, honestly, it started kind of with Reagan into kind of, and then moved into let's make it us against them. And then we're going to rein in education. Now you see it with critical race theory and all that shit. But like, that's the thing is like people think that they can go and like look at Google and be like for fucking an hour and think I know more than that scientist who's been working their fucking entire life, who their whole fucking existence is about how do I make this right? How do I make this better? Science evolves, things change. It's not I make a decision and that's what I'm sticking to because that's how conservatives think. You think you make a point and your point fucking sticks and you never deviate, you never change, you never evolve, you never learn. The learning is just the problem is it's the confirmation bias stuff where you just go, well, I like what that person says because it aligns with myself instead of actually fucking thinking like, okay, well, I don't know that. Let me go look. But you have to be able to go, I don't understand that, but I'm also not an expert. And, you know, I need to talk to and listen to experts, people that know what the fuck they're talking about and take their advice and understand their guidance. Yes, you might not agree with everything they say, but you have to acknowledge that like they know way more than I do about that subject. Like whatever that subject is, if that subject is fucking porpoise migrations, guess what? I don't know shit about that, and I'm going to listen to whoever does know about that because they know what they're talking about.
You mentioned Reagan, and it's the loss of the fairness doctrine that is like to me that's the tipping point when the fairness doctrine was removed. That's when the slide happened. That when the ability to forget knowledge and start focusing on belief instead of fact, that's when it all started to slide. And now we're here at that point where it's now all all these people are about, this is what I believe, not what is fact. I believe this wild ass conspiracy theory, deep state, QAnon bullshit from Tenpenny and other people that have been debunked. It's a slide of decades.
Well, and then also too, I don't want to, JC, I'm pretty sure it's cool, but I don't want to, we have a thing here that we don't really talk too much about people's personal lives, but I'm going to, I don't think JC cares, so I'm going to say it. JSG's wife is an epidemiologist, Doug.
Yep.
Like a real one, not a bullshit one, not someone who plays one on Facebook, not someone who reads comments and shit. So like, there's been a lot of times during this pandemic where I'm not going to speak for JSG, he can speak for himself, where I've asked JSG what his wife thinks, and I've disagreed with what I thought her end result was. But at the same time, I listened to it and I fucking did it. Like, I didn't necessarily think that, like, but I know that this lady has decades in her job. She has decades of knowledge that I don't even have in my fucking thumb. And so at some point, and whether it's her, whether it's Sanjay Gupta, whether it's Dr. Fauci, whether it's, I forget all these other people that I've listened to over this past year and a half. And I didn't, when they were saying, hey, we're cool, you're vaccinated, go out, it's cool. I was like, no, bitches, no, no. Okay, really, I was. And but that was my personal choice. But it wasn't anything that I was like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not going to listen anymore. Because, ask JHG, I was literally in his DM saying, what does your wife say about this? And he was like, oh, I asked her, and or we already talked about it last week, and she said bop 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 bop. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Right. And then I would relay that to my lady, and she'd be like, well, what did JSG's wife say? So it almost got to literally, it got to what did JSG's wife say about this? Wow. I'm like, all right, I'll ask. And JSG's like, well, she said this last week, blah 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 blah. And like, it was like, listen, it was the hard truth though. It wasn't what I wanted to fucking hear. With all due respect, Dr. Fauci told us. Dr. Fauci told us in January. I don't give a shit about whether you like him or not. I don't give a fuck. It's not really your opinion whether you should like him or not. It's not about opinion. It's about the truth. Dr. Fauci told us in January that it will be the end of 2021 until we got any vaccines for kids. He told us. And guess what? It's September and we still don't have a vaccine. We still don't even have we might get approval soon for kids. We don't even have that shit yet because the man was right and he knows what he's talking about. And, we're in a pandemic once in 100 years. So like the only people that we could even thinking about is the epidemiologists, the people who are working in this field before all of us knew what a fucking pandemic was, because nobody really gave a shit or knew about 1908, and who gives a shit about that? But I know JSG's wife knew. I know Dr. Fauci knows. I know Sanjay Gupta knows. So they were already in on this shit before our dumbasses came around and started questioning whether we should wear masks, not wear masks, go indoors, not go indoors, blah, 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 blah. And again, whether you like the CDC or fucking not, they're filled with a whole bunch of epidemiologists who know more than you. They know a lot more than everybody who is watching this fucking stream right now, unless Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Fauci, or JSG's wife is watching. They know more than us.
They
Get over it.
They do.
Get the fuck over it. Sorry. And wear your mask. Listen to them. They're scientists. There's a reason why they know what they do, because they've been doing it for years. They're doing it before you ever thought about a COVID. They're doing it before any of this shit. So please stop, people, with the whole, and now we're like, we're not past it. We're, Dr. Fauci has to have security because people disagree with him, though. Again, I would never run up on JSG's wife. I would never run up on your wife talk about her specialty, I would never run up on that because she's been doing it forever and she's smarter than me in this aspect. Period. And Doug, whatever you do every day, you're smarter than me. And I'm a computer technician, man. But I've been out of work forever. And I know this is kind of the thing that you do, but I've been out of work forever. So if I ever really have an issue, I'm gonna roll up on you and ask you, and I'm gonna get my answer. I'm just tired of us like dismissing people's expertise, whether it's epidemiologists, whatever. It's just easy to get on Google and just to fucking dismiss people, and I'm just fucking tired of it. Thank you.
You're right. No, you're right. And
so
you know
what happens? I'm sorry, we're gonna say JC before I get to say what happens if you try to twerk in the middle of a fucking traffic stop. We're gonna get to that, but go on though.
I don't know if I can continue after that.
Hello. Go on, JC.
Wow. Okay.
If you can.
If I can.
Yes.
Wow.
This is hitting. Actually, this is hitting. Actually, I didn't even talk about it, but go on, JC, and then we can. This shit's hitting. This shit's going.
Living in the house with an epidemiologist challenges
right.
my own beliefs and my own because I try and keep up as much as I can with current information and what's going on, and she has a better understanding and a deeper sense and knowledge of what's going on when it comes to COVID and the track to getting a vaccine and things like that. And we actually had a conversation just yesterday in the car about the track to getting kids vaccinated, because she and I are both like, come on, we just want this vaccine. We're anxious. We want to have our youngest, who's younger than 12, vaccinated so we can start moving on with our lives a little bit more normal. And the track to getting to that vaccine is much harder because there are so many more levels of safety involved, because kids have vastly different reactions to vaccines than adults do. Adults' bodies have adapted over time to what's out in the world. Kids are still learning, their bodies are still understanding the environment that they live in, and they react in very different ways to these things. So the path to getting to a vaccine for a child is much harder because you have to be more careful. So you can't just rush into it as fast as you can with adults.
That, and let me jump in here.
Yeah,
what I learned from our past guests and someone I'm working on projects with, our friend Kinky Suggs, Doug, she said during her hour and a half thing that she had where she was talking about vaccine hesitancy, there's an angle of trials and getting enough people to do trials.
Yes,
so it's hard to get parents to give up their kids for trials. I don't know if I want to give up my kid for a trial. So, like, I'm not sure JHG wants to give up his kids for trials. So, getting people to do trials, she said during that whole thing, is part of the problem with research, because sometimes you can't get enough people to do the trials to prove that this said treatment will work. Because I can't verify that, but because my wife is an epidemiologist, we are on the wait list for the first trials. As soon as the first trials, whenever those happen, we're ready to do that. She has enough belief in the system of developing vaccines, being an epidemiologist and understanding how it works, to say, I'm willing to make that first trial effort, because
you have to start somewhere.
Well, yeah, and she understands the importance of
absolutely
having right. But does she understand? Does she understand the importance of twerking and getting your foot run over?
Hold on! I was doing it. Oh, foot.
Oh, shit.
Hold on.
I was doing it.
She thinks she's cute by doing the twerking.
Hold on! I was doing it. Oh, foot.
Look at you knock the fucking gas.
She did.
Yes!
Cap right off the.
I was doing it. Oh, foot. Oh, foot.
Get your ass back in the car, lady. Come on, man. What the fuck are you doing?
And they're leaving without the cover.
Fuck around, try to be cute. Fuck around, try to be cute.
Hold on! I was doing it.
What did she expect?
Oh, foot.
Like,
no, and she's all angry too.
I know, right?
Right. Did he drive over her foot? Yes, he did, Lauren. Yes, he did.
Oh,
hey, let's see it again, actually.
Hold on!
He turns and
roll.
Right.
Oh,
right,
okay. All right.
Right.
All right.
Shit. Oh my god.
Twerking gone wrong.
Don't hit me.
That had to be New York City.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, at this point,
it could have been Chicago. It could have been any
at this
city
point,
like that,
right. But it did give me a New York City feel, though, JC. I'll give you that.
Granted, it was a Florida license plate, so who knows?
Oh, so before we're on a 2-hour.
That's my designer brain.
We're on a 2-hour thing. Doug, I still love this meme, though. I just still love this.
I cannot disagree.
I still love that. Look at that. That horse is like, you motherfuckers. But think about it, though. These dumbasses are literally taking supplies from horses.
Yeah.
It's just
anything to avoid the real thing.
This is where we're at?
Yeah.
So before we let JC go, we have to do this. What have y'all been watching? What's been going on? We'll go with our guest first. JC, what are you watching, brother?
So one of the shows that my wife and I have been sort of binging when we have the time is Designated Survivor. It's I think it's the first show after 24, the show that Keith Sutherland did. Kiefer Sutherland did. Yep. And it's a political drama for the most part. It starts off, the whole idea of Designated Survivor is that when the president of the United States does a address to Congress, there is a designated survivor, a person from the cabinet who is sequestered as a safety precaution in case there's a catastrophic event where the president dies or something. And that's the basic premise of the show. So Kiefer Sutherland plays the HUD director for the government at the beginning of the episode, and the entire cabinet and at an address of Congress, they all get killed. So he is the designated survivor and becomes president of the United States. and it follows his development as a president, going from this meek, sort of timid HUD director to president of the United States. So it's like the antithesis of his Jack Bauer character in 24.
Gotcha. And what is this, like a 40-minute show?
Yeah, it's like it's one of those 43-minute kind of shows. Yeah.
Is it a thriller though? Is it like action, or is it more of a drama?
The first season, it's a mix. It's a mix.
Okay. Cool.
We're into season 2 at this point, and it's become a little bit more of a West Wing-ish kind of feel.
Gotcha.
Which isn't bad. It
shows
can't
have
be
to
West
evolve.
Wing. But
Shows have to evolve too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's almost, it's almost hard to. I've only saw a little bit of 24, but it's almost hard to be like a 24, which is like riveting and crazy and upbeat for like 18,000 years. I mean, it went for like 8 years or some shit.
So the first season of this is definitely a whodunit kind of drama where they're trying to figure out who the hell blew up the Capitol building and killed Congress and things like that. And so the second season evolves from there, and it becomes more of the politics of his administration and things like that. So
cool. JHG, I know you got another one, but let Doug jump in here and then we'll get back to you.
Yep.
Doug, what's up?
So I am watching this with Jill, 9 Perfect Strangers. It is weird and interesting, and just a bunch of interesting personalities. Like, they do a great job of developing these characters. It's a bit of a slow burn through the first 2 episodes, and the third one it just kind of really moves. And I'm going to say, so you have Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy are the 2 main ones, but the guy to the right, Bobby Cannavale, his performance is fucking superb. He is really excellent in this. It's just trippy and interesting, and seeing how people interact through their trauma and trying to get over that, and just it's really excellent. There's only the problem is you watch the first 4 episodes, now 5. They just released the 5th one, and there's a 6th one. I think it's only a 6-episode show, which is kind of interesting. That's the tack some shows take now, but it's really interesting and really pulls you in. So yeah, I would really recommend that one. That's really good.
Cool. And JC, you have another one, don't you?
I do, and we've heard about this show already from other guests, and it's Ted Lasso. It's Ted Lasso. I got sucked into it. I'm not one that like jumps on a bandwagon right away, but I heard enough good things about this. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I tell you, it
was worth it.
Oh, it's absolutely worth it. It is lighthearted. It has like, it's kind of like The Human Story, but
it's not a sports ball show, is it though?
It is not a sports ball show.
Okay.
Absolutely
it
not
looks
a
like
sports
one though.
It looks like it, but it's deceiving because it's about the people. Yes, it's named Ted Lasso, but it's not about Ted Lasso himself. It's about all the people around him and the characters around him, and it's not easy to describe it other than to say that he's a goofy character, but his goofiness makes other people change in positive ways. And it's easy to get sucked into it and just want to keep going on the journey with him and the other characters in the show. The writing of this show is just so well done. They're only half-hour like shows. It's like a comedy kind of show in its length, but it is just so powerful in the emotions and the roller coaster that you kind of go through with each of these different characters. Because it's not just about Ted Lasso either. It's about the players on the team. It's about the owner. It's about all the various little people that are in the universe of this football team. I mean, it's. I'm glad that I started watching it.
Lauren heard it's very wholesome.
Absolutely, very wholesome. It's very human. It really bears down to the humanity of everybody. There are very distinct personalities within the show, and those personalities get a chance to work out what's going on in their lives individually and in very meaningful ways. And in part because of how Ted interacts with them.
Gotcha.
So anyway.
Cool. Y'all need to check it out because this is the second time somebody's brought this up. Mine real quick is High on the Hog, how African American cuisine is transformed America. Yeah, it's a Netflix show. They actually just it's really emotional though. There's one, they call it one season, but I think there's 3 episodes. It's very, very enlightening and thoughtful and emotional. And check it out, y'all. It's good shit. I watched it a couple months ago, so it's not really new, but I didn't want to be left because JHG and Doug were going to bring some shit. So I can't just let them bring shit. So but I'm High on the Hog though. Very, very good. And again, you would be very, very surprised about the influences that Black Americans have had on food that they don't get credit for. So that's a lot of that. Very, very good. And great. Yeah, Greg, that's on my watch list too. Lauren, get to it soon. You won't be disappointed. It's fascinating. It's all hell. But be prepared to have the Kleenexes. It's a little bit emotional. It's good. Doug, have you seen it?
No, but it's on my list. I'm
cool.
wanting to. The problem is like, it seems like I watch a lot of TV. I don't. It's just when I do, there's certain things that I gravitate towards, and there's certain things that I have I wanted to see the new Wu-Tang doc, and I just haven't because I have to be in a kind of a certain mindset to watch stuff like that.
Sure. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kyle agrees. Kyle agrees. Have me in tears. Right. And I don't cry. I don't cry at shit either. So it's really emotional. It's more emotional than you thought because you jump in and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna learn about food and shit. Tearworthy had no idea. Oh, absolutely Tearworthy. We warned you, Lauren. So when you see it, we warned you. We warned you for sure. So yeah, JG. So I want to make sure we need to double back because I want to give you time. Was there anything that we didn't talk about homedadcon? Did we talk about the dates? Did we talk about just if you feel that you didn't get anything out about it? These fellas, before I let you go, I'm not even really trying to get into the subject, but I'm going to. So if we take this and run with it, we do. It really annoys me to tears, actually. One of the things that most annoys me to tears is that somehow people have turned wokeness to a bad thing. And it just fucking annoys me. Oh, you're woke, and that's like, no, fuck you. Because again, on too many levels, we weren't. If you want to use the word woke, whatever the fuck you want to use, we're fucking stupid. And we were white, privileged, male, dominated, still fucking country and rules and laws. So if it's woke because we take into consideration people of color and people who are gay or people who are trans or people who are handicapped or people who are less diminished, and that's become woke, fuck you. Because again, we're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to be a melting pot, not a melting pot of white. And if you're offended, click on the fucking X up there because I don't give a shit. Like, I'm fucking tired of you being a person who is open-minded to a lot of things being persecuted or being looked at as like that's a bad thing. Again, fuck you and click the fucking X. I got fucking young kids who have to fucking grow up in a stupid society, and if you think that like, oh, you're woke and all that shit, you know what? Again, fuck you. What does this have to do with anything I'm about to do to JHG? Because I believe that the National At-Home Dad Network is one of the most woke organizations that I'm involved in. I would say that they're as woke as, not as woke, but, you know, I'm involved with the Black Fathers Foundation. Again, I guess we're woke because we want, you know, equality for Black fathers. I guess that's a woke thing. I'm just tired of this whole, like, let's demonize anything that's not for, you know, that's not me, or that's not white, or that's not, I'm just fucking tired of it. I want an open society where everybody's welcome. White people, Black people, colored people, trans people, all that. That's what I want. So if you want to call that woke, call it woke. But don't be a fucking asshole. And again, I don't really go on this many rants on this fucking thing, but today I'm going to. Because one of the things that I think people assail the National At-Home Dad Network about is that, oh, they're woke and all this. You know what? They're smart. That's what they are. And they're fucking caring people. And,
Thank you.
And y'all try and do your best, even though generally y'all still mostly white guys. Y'all do your best to be open and idealistic about other people that don't look like you or don't have the same fight that you guys have. You guys are really open. You guys are always out there about every issue. You know, everybody was like, oh, look at the background today. I would have to say that the National At-Home Dad Network is one of the networks that really celebrates Pride all year round. Y'all do your best to push issues and all that. So, like, that's what I love about you. I was a part of the organization for 7 years as a board member. I can't say enough about how, again, y'all try to do your best to include everybody. I mean, obviously, you're an At-Home Dad Network, so obviously, you know, obviously, moms aren't. You know, that's not your niche.
No,
but
there's that level of exclusion. However,
yes, but my point is that, like, hold on, let me finish it. I'll just shut up and I will let you go. In fact, I will actually get off the screen because I gotta go to the bathroom. But anyway, oh, I love the inside ball here. Whatever. My point is that let me finish my rant. I'm gonna go on. I'm just really, really proud of what y'all do generally, and I'm also proud of the way that y'all handling COVID, because again, y'all target demographic generally is, with all due respect, you know, white guys, and the fact that y'all step out like y'all do all the time is a lot of respect that I have to give, and this is why I continue. We will always have a place for the president of the National At-Home Dad Network when JHG moves on. Whoever that comes next, you will have a place here that you can come talk about homedadcon, talk about whatever you guys want to do, whatever you're doing, because again, that's the vision that y'all have, and I respect that a lot. And if you want to call it woke, again, call it woke. If you think that's bad, there is a fucking X over there and that box over there on this side that you could X out and never see us again. I don't give a shit. I don't do this shit for fucking streams. I don't do it for fucking people watching. I don't give a shit. We don't monetize this. We get on here and we say what the fuck we want because that's what we want to fucking do. And Doug agrees with me 100%. So that's why I'm not even going to say that it's just me saying it. Like I do say it sometimes. No, this isn't me saying it. This is this whole Brothers and Booze thing. Fuck you if you don't like woke. I don't know why I'm on this tangent, but like maybe it's because I've seen some pushback on you guys and I'm just annoyed by it because the pushback is bullshit and I'm just tired of it. So with that being said, just so everybody is clear on how I and what I believe on this, if you don't have it clear, again, you can watch the replay, read back, and then you can still click the fucking X and the unsubscribe and the remove from Daddy Porter and all that shit. Remove yourself because I don't want you around. I don't want you watching me. I don't give a fuck about you. And you don't give a fuck about me. So that's why it's easy to reciprocate all that. Okay, cool. With that being said, I just want to thank you guys for being who you are, and I want to give JHG the time without my blathering to explain HomeDadCon and HomeDadNet, and I will literally remove myself from the screen so I don't fuck it up. JHG, the stage is yours, bruh. Bye.
Thank you, Greg. That's hard, kind of hard to follow, but one of the key focuses that we've had for some years, mostly when I came on board, was to be more cognizant of the dads that we have and the dads that are out there that are struggling. And it didn't really matter what their background is, where they came from, who they were as an individual. They are a father trying to raise a child and doing it sometimes on their own, but more or less in a vacuum. And we have to put all the other issues aside and focus on kids are the primary challenge that we all face and the thing that we struggle with. And it's within that brotherhood of fatherhood that we can become better parents, regardless of how we've gotten there, how we've gotten to be a dad. And that spans so many different backgrounds. Over the years, we have tried really hard to pull in and talk with organizations and dads who are really struggling and are in minority groups and are having their own challenges beyond being a parent, beyond being a primary caregiver. So we do things like RAD. We do the kind of things that try and focus our energies on support and supporting fathers, just so they can get beyond all those like crazy struggles and focus on themselves and become better parents. I've had the privilege of being associated with this organization for about 10 years now. My first convention was 9 years ago in the DC area, and it became a community that I didn't really know existed. And I think there are a lot of dads out there that don't know that kind of thing exists for them, especially if they're that primary caregiver. And to us, a primary caregiver is just someone who does most of the tasks involved in taking care of a child instead of the mother. Because there are families that have a working dad who is also the primary caregiver, just like there are so many families out there who have a mother who is the primary caregiver and also works. So there are dads out there doing that too. They just face more crazy challenges just because of the society that we have built over decades that said that women are better at caring for children than men, which is a fallacy. It is not about gender. It is about the ability to focus on your child, give them the love and support that they need, especially when they are faced with additional challenges of people on the outside trying to put them down and pull them down for who they are. So we've made a very hard push over the last 3-4 years to ramp up our inclusion and really be a organization that is accepting of anybody who identifies as a father, because there are far more challenges out there beyond being just a father. And we want them to be in a space where they feel comfortable being themselves so they can focus on their children, focus on being a parent, focus and not have to deal with the baggage that comes from all the people around them shooting them down for who they are, whether they be Black, whether they be transgender, whether they be whatever they are parents first, and that's how we see them. So
sweet.
Yeah.
So HomeDadCon is the gathering of them.
HomeDadCon is the gathering of at-home dads to re-energize, reconnect, and to focus on learning how to be better parents and learning about other people's experiences. So speaking of rad, one of our keynote speakers is a former president, Al Watts, and his son, Miles, who is transgender. And we are trying to bring focus on the challenges of being a parent going through a child's struggle of learning who they are, identifying who they are, and supporting them in that journey. Because not a lot of I would say not a decent number of our members have direct experience with that. So we want to make sure that our attendees have that understanding to go back to where they live and be an advocate for dads who are not themselves, but who are still dads, regardless of the challenges that they have. Building a community that is about parenting and fatherhood can be challenging when you've got all those extraneous things going on outside that are pulling you down and making it harder for you to focus on being a parent. And we've had panels in the past that have focused on transgender parents, being gay, things of those natures, because we need to support each other in the parenting realm and really focus on accepting people for who they are and just moving on and dealing with the harder issues of dealing with colic and dealing with kids who don't sleep and kids who have poopy diapers and
kids who don't sleep. Don't even get me started.
Oh, I know, right? That's a whole other nightmare in and of itself.
I still resent my 16-year-old from when he was 6. So, right. But I tell him though, we have a healthy discussion about that. But anyway, yes.
Yeah, Lauren is right. Yep, she's absolutely right.
So JHG, if we don't let you go, we'll go another hour and a half. You already know that shit.
I know this.
So I gave you your parting shots, but I'm gonna give you another one. Parting shots.
Well, I am a designer by trade, so
I forgot about all that.
So
I was wondering if you were gonna get there, Greg.
I'll sneak that in.
No, but JG doesn't ever want to do this shit. He always talks about HomeDadCon, and that's great. But I even pointed that shit out today, right? Mm-hmm.
So as an extension of HomeDadCon and the whole convention thing, the first convention that I ever went to, my designer brain was still highly functioning. I was a new at-home dad, and I saw a need for design for the organization. They were just starting to figure things out. They had a new logo and things like that, but they really didn't have anything going on. So I jumped in and I started doing that. But by education, by trade, I'm a designer. So that's my website. That's got a collection of my stuff. I started off as a corporate communications designer. When I got out of college, I was working at a place that did annual reports. So big companies making lots of money, doing really high-end stuff. And my career sort of went off from there. I worked for Reebok, and then I've done a whole bunch of different projects there that you can see on the site. And there's work on there that I really am proud about from my career in the past, posters and things like that. So when you get a chance, if anybody's watching, go check it out, things like that. But I'm a designer. I like to design. And so I'm doing the shirts, I'm doing the programs, I'm doing the materials for the convention, I do stuff for the organization, all those graphics that anybody who follows National at-Home Dad Network on social media, that's me. I'm designing that stuff. I'm just taking my knowledge and my expertise from my time in private practice and putting it to good use. And I hope to expand that and do that once I'm done with my time with the organization. I want to expand on that and I love infographics and I love that kind of stuff. So anyway.
Sweet JHG. Again, we gotta let you go. We'll be here for another 3 hours.
I hear you.
But we will definitely love to have you back after the new year and see what the hell's going on with homedadcon and what you're up to and all that shit.
All right.
Doug?
Absolutely.
Doug, anything?
No, just thanks for being on as usual. And you're always got opinions, and we love that shit here. So thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, JC. You know what happens here in post-production, so we'll see you in a second. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, Doug, what's going on, bro?
Nothing, man.
We have
at all, nothing.
No, really nothing. So we have a recent update. Our last guest was JHG, but before that was last week. We had Andy Lytle on, who was a Browns fan and a horror fan, but he absolutely said that he was up for this big. He was actually interviewing for his and I quote his a dream job. So I just want to give him a quick update that he put on his Facebook. So you're probably not all privy to his Facebook unless you're friends with him. But he said, thanks to everyone for the kind words. I can't speak about it publicly yet, but he got his dream job. So we're happy for Andy Lytle. We will absolutely talk to him about that after the Browns win the Super Bowl. And it'll all be good. Yeah, I know, Doug. I have views.
Better the Browns than the fucking Patriots. So yes, I'll sign up for the Browns for the Super Bowl. I'm good.
Yeah, the Patriots shit. That's not happening.
No.
So you have an update about past guest, Doug?
Yes. So our former guest Ariana Bradford, who we've had on a couple times, she is fucking great. Her and her husband.
She is just fucking fantastic. But go on.
I had some links that I sent to Greg where basically she talked about her and her husband and 2 kids moving to Costa Rica. So we really encourage you to read it. She's fucking great. Her writing's funny, irreverent, just like she is when she's on the show. Just it's great and it's fast and just it's some really good stuff to delve into with her and how their decision to move to a completely different country and why they chose to do it and kind of the trials and tribulations of moving to a different country as Americans. So yeah, totally suggest reading Ariana's stuff and good stuff there.
We always suggest reading Ariana's stuff. Even again, her Twitter is fantastic.
That
as
shit's
you
on
already
fire.
know, Doug. Right, it is just on fire. But if you want a little bit more depth, you can go into her blog there or whatever. It's just great. She's great, and I actually need to catch up on that, Doug. So I love Ariana, so that's great. Oh man, we didn't really get it's been so fast paced, and again, we're 2 hours in. We didn't even get JHG's his time for review. So this Hornitos, man, this was smooth. Like the thing about tequila that I don't think people understand is that like people, it's just like beer, Doug. People drink bad tequila and then they just fucking think that tequila is bad. Does that make sense? Meaning,
yeah, that was my opinion for many years. So yes, I totally get that.
Again, people drink Bud Light and then they think beer sucks, and Bud Light sucks, right? But beer doesn't suck. This shit was smooth. This is probably the best fucking tequila I had in my house for a long ass time. And then you can see where, again, I've had literally one shot of this. So we don't talk about our personal lives, but I had one shot of this. So who had the rest when I got teenage boys and they don't drink? So yeah, the lady loves this one. And one thing that her and I mean, we agree on a bunch of things, but we don't, where we kind of divulge is like, our taste buds and stuff. Sometimes it's like she's out there on left field and I'm like, where the fuck are you at? On tequila, we're pretty we're pretty close, and apparently she likes this one, and so do I. It's smooth. I get a little bit of the barrel taste, but it's smooth as hell. Like the problem with tequila is that people drink that harsh shit and then are like, oh, that shit sucks. And it does. Believe me, it sucks. But if you can get Hornitos, the Black Barrel, don't ask me how much it costs, because me and a lady we don't really, I mean, over $100 a bottle, yes. But besides that, we don't really have a limit on our tequila. We just think, we look at it, we think if it's cool, we just buy it. And then that's how we work. So, also too, real quick, before we get to yours, Doug, we're going to talk, Doug and I are going to talk after he comes back from Iceland, because Doug, we might have to put it behind a Patreon or on our Twitch channel or something. But we have to do a Scotch show where you talk to people, where I want you to talk about cheap scotches, expensive scotches, the difference between the peat shit and the not peat shit. And I don't mean shit by
there's a whole different thing between the different districts and the
right. You're with me on, like, I don't mean shit like it's shit. I mean shit like it's kind of crazy how you can just delve into that. So we need to have just an hour show where you and I just do scotch and you just teach me how, and we can bring everybody along. But we might do that as a Patreon or something. We're not gonna do it on a Friday because we're booked out to almost January, if you can believe it, Doug. So it's crazy. It's great. We're still adding people. But my point is that, like, we need to do a scotch thing, maybe on a Tuesday night or on a Wednesday night or something. We're gonna try to, real quick before I get to you, we're really gonna try to start being, I don't know, responsible. How about that? Meaning, we want to pay our bills. So we want to pay for StreamYard and pay for these mics that we have. And Doug, you're still working on the podcast room, aren't you?
Yeah, that has been on hold because my podcast partner moved to a different state and all of his stuff was delayed getting to his house. Like,
so it's there now, right?
It's there now, but he's got it. But he's setting up a whole house, so we're getting back to that. But I'm also building a studio upstairs when we get back from Iceland.
Yeah.
So
my point is that it takes some money to run this, and we just want to pay our bills. We're not trying to be rich.
And
we're never going to be rich.
Yeah, we're not, it's not like we're trying to turn a profit or make.
Right.
It's more like, let's just take care of what we
can. So we're going to offer a couple special things on the side. And then I don't know if you guys want to just give us like $3 a month or whatever, and we can just pay our bills. That'd be fantastic. But that being said, damn, the schedule be packed. Yes. And guess what, Daniel Fisher? The last time you were on our stream was this January. So guess what, motherfucker? I'm calling you soon.
You're coming up.
Right. So with that being said, congrats to Andy. I can't wait to hear more. It's gonna be great. But that being said, we're gonna do some scotch things, Doug. But I had my Hornitos, that was fantastic. I had this Cosmic Entity, which was really great, and the bomber is pretty much done.
Yeah.
And then I had the wonderful, they were all great tonight, this wonderful Mocha Stout, which Mocha Milk Stout, which was nice with the body, nice with the chocolate and coffee, more coffee than chocolate, but a little bit of chocolate. But it was great. So Doug, what did you have?
So all of my beers were really good. I have no complaints about any of them. These two were completely different, but both were really good. I can't rate one over the other. There's a sponge cake cream ale, really different. Like a cream ale, kind of it's a creamy and smooth, and not it. But the sponge cake added a little sweetness to it. But it tastes like fucking sponge cake. It's really interesting. Don't know how they pulled that off, but great. This was JHG's oatmeal stout that he sent me, Elbow Patches from Virginia Beer Company. This was quite good. Really classic oatmeal stout. Really excellent. And the Mac Brewing fucking English barley wine was like,
oh, fucking Mac Brewing.
That's coming to you. I'm sending you one of those goddamn things. So when I ever get and send you beer. So yeah, that was the winner just because it's delicious, but it just doesn't taste like it's that heavy. It tastes like it's like 8 or 9%, and it's more than double that. So yeah, that was if you're gonna pick a winner, all of them were good. So, but that was definitely the best out of the crew.
Awesome. So we're gonna do something we've never done, which is we're gonna end on a video. But like this video, it's about 2 minutes long, so I'm just giving y'all a warning. But it tells a really, really funny ass story, like no other video we've seen, Doug. I will see you, Doug. Wow, when am I going to see you? Here,
3 weeks.
Yeah, because let me pull this up because I don't even know. So next week we are not on stream. We will not be live. We might be recorded. The week after that, we have a brewer, Jared, one of the only black-owned breweries that has a brick on me. He's AleSmith.
Oh, cool.
No, not AleSmith. Fuck, I got this wrong. God damn it, this shit. Anyway, we're gonna have a black brewer on. The week after, you're gonna miss it. We're gonna have Casey here. But the week after, cool. The week after, we're gonna have Rebecca and Carrie on their anniversary.
Oh, so wow.
Yes, literally on their anniversary. That is September 24th.
The week before that is Joel and I's 10th anniversary. So
right. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So right. So they are September 24th. That's 24th. When you will make your return. We will have anniversary. That'll be fantastic. But until then, we won't see you for 2 weeks, Doug, and that's crazy. And it's crazy for you because you don't like to miss shit. What y'all don't know is Doug does not like to miss shit. For all the years that we've been doing this, Doug is like, especially when we first started, Doug, you're like, yo, we got a show or what's going on? Like when it was like, not touch and go, but it was more like, I didn't talk to you till Thursday. You're like, what's going on? Oh, we're going. But Doug does not like, Doug's a workaholic, man. He don't like to miss. So we're going to end the stream tonight with a 2-minute story. And Doug, I will see you. Safe travels. Avoid the Karens. Avoid all that bullshit. It's great that y'all are celebrating your 10th anniversary.
And my 50th birthday, by the way. Same week.
Birthday. It's great that y'all be able to get away, even though COVID's being crazy. At least y'all got like settled on it. Like I was saying this before, like at least people just settled on it. Like if you didn't, you'd still be like, I shouldn't fucking go. You know what I mean? Because you know what's going on. So again, safe travels. Love you, brother.
We're gonna finish. Safe travel to you too before we go.
Yes. I got this. Yes. I don't know, man. Like I don't know if air travel is even more than risky than road travel. I'll just be able to like, yeah. Daniel said it. Safe travels to all and cheers. Thank you, Daniel. And safe everything to you, brother. And we'll see y'all I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Doug will see y'all in 3. Doug, love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Cheers. There's a story here. Stay for it. Yeah. Right. He's cheating. That's the cheater. He's trying to find. He sees him. Right. This is slipping away. Right. Wait. Oh my God. Right. And it spills out the street. Where's the end?